And to start off with, I'm going to talk about how you can simply make your own healing remedies for any illness or anything that you want to remedy for. And as many of you know, was very ill with Lyme's disease. And one of the ways I got better was holographic breathing, was like a lifeline. And the other thing I was doing is I was going to a homeopath, and she would make homeopathic remedies, or the homeopathic nosode of Lyme's disease, which is like a watered down version of Lyme's disease. It's many times weaker, and you take it as a homeopathic remedy and it somehow stimulates your body to fight the Lyme's disease, whatever strain of Lyme's disease it is. Then it helps your body to fight that. And then later on I started making those remedies myself, and I started doing that with I've got a duplicator, a thing that you can duplicate remedies from one side to the other. And I had all of these little files that have little homeopathic remedies or healing remedies, and you can put them on one side of the duplicator and they will copy it into a bottle on the other side. So I started making my own ones and copying my own ones, and then I just started creating my own remedies, because there is a thing in homeopathy where you can write down any. Now, I'm not saying I'm a homeopath. I'm not a homeopath, so I'm not claiming to know that. If you really want the truth about things, it's best to see a real homeopath. I'm not a homeopath, but I just do this in my own way, so I'm not claiming anything. But in homeopathy, you can write down any remedy or any nosode. So, for instance, for Lyme disease, you could just write Lyme disease, so that gives you the what you're working with, and then underneath you can write the potencies. There's different potencies you work with in homeopathy, and the lady I was working with, normally the potencies were D8, D30, D200, which how many times it's weakened, and the weaker it gets, the actual more potent it is for your body. So you can write Lyme's disease and then the potencies D8, D30, D200 on a piece of paper, and you can put a bottle of water on that, and that remedy will go into the water. So just by suggestion, you can provoke that bottle of water to absorb that remedy. And then if you drink that remedy through the day, it will start to interact with it, and your body will recognize it, and it will start to get better. Now, there are many things to this. There is that, that is what is said will happen. You can do that within homeopathy for any remedy. But also there is the facility of being a healer. Like when I write a remedy, I can kind of feel it happening. And then when I stick that label on the bottle, I can feel some kind of magic going off. So you can just do it and it will work in one way, and there is your own natural ability to make remedies and for them to transfuse into the water. And it feels like magic, but the thing is also, once you feel that working, say you've got a tummy ache, and you write on a label, my tummy ache, and then underneath you can write the potencies. And as I say, you don't have to use these potencies, but they're the ones I use, D8, D30, D200. You stick that on the bottle of water, then you drink that through the day, and you feel your tummy ache getting better when you drink it. And once you feel that, then you also think, aha, this works. So there's the magic of making the remedy, and then as soon as it's worked a couple of times, there's the belief system. You believe that it is going to work. So when you're drinking it, and that just becomes automatic, you just think, oh, this will work. And what in medicine, what they would call the placebo effect happens, and you start getting better from it. But for me, that word placebo is quite often used to put something down. Oh, that's only the placebo effect. I mean, you think about that phrase, you got better from something because you believed you were going to get better, and oh, that's just the placebo effect. That's not important. That's more important than anything else, that you can recover from an illness just because you think you're going to recover from it. I mean, for me, that is the vital point in the whole thing, is the power of our own mind and our own being to create what we want to create. And sometimes it just takes a little ceremony to manifest that. And there's something about the power of language. You can have a disease, and unless you've got a name for that disease, you can't get a handle on it. So you get a name for it, like my stomachache. Then you put it into language. That brings a reality to it. Then there is a potency to writing things. Once you put something in writing, it's kind of becoming more manifest. There's a reality to a book. There's a reality to when you write things. Then when you stick it on a bottle, and in your head or in reality, that remedy is transferring into the bottle, then it is more real, because suddenly it is manifest, it is in water. And then you drink the water, and that water becomes part of you. So by doing that, it's not like, oh, I am just writing something on a label and sticking it on a bottle and drinking something. You're going through a procedure of creating something. And then as soon as you fit, and that will work for me, that will work on its own. I mean, I have recovered from Lyme disease, which for most people is incurable. And then once you believe it's working, it just becomes automatic. You just think, oh, I've written this remedy, it's going to work, and I drink it. You can make them for everything. And it's good to have the nosode for, say, it doesn't matter what illness you've got, you write that down, you make the nosode, and it goes in. And then you can also have like complementary remedies. So you can have my stomachache, you write underneath it, I write the potencies D8, D30, D200, and then to go along with that, to complement that, you've got the nosode, which is like a vaccine in a way. It's a duplicate of whatever you've got in a very refined way. And then it's good to have something to balance that. And you can have something, you can write something like the perfect healing remedy for my stomachache, or the stomachache I have. You may not want to identify it. You may want to call it the stomachache I have rather than my stomachache. You have to put it in your words. So you've got the nosode, and also you've got the complement, and you can have that healing complement just as a healing remedy. You write it on a piece of paper, stick it also on the bottle, or what I normally do, I find it more powerful if I put the healing, the homeopathic potencies underneath it. So that is one way of doing it. So you can do that. You can put it on a bottle of water and drink the bottle of water. Another way you can do it, if you want them to last longer, you can get like 100 milliliter bottle, and you fill it up 10% vodka and then 90% water, and then that way it's sterile in a way. And then you can put whatever your magical remedy is on the bottle, and it doesn't have to be a no-sode, and it doesn't have to be a particular thing. I've got lots. I've got like the elixir of life, that's one I really enjoy, and I've got the fountain of youth, which is another one, and I wanted to have the Holy Grail, but I didn't want the religious connotation, so rather than writing the chalice or what the Holy Grail, so rather than writing the Holy Grail, I had the infinite chalice of love, and then that was another remedy that I will make every day and will drink, will imbibe into the water. And you know, I've had a hiatus hernia for a long time, and I wanted to make one for that, and there really is something in the writing of it, because it took me about 10 times to write out my hiatus hernia, and I don't write the whole word. I just write the letters. That would just be M for my H hiatus and then hernia, so that would have just been MHS and MHH and the potencies. But there was so much energy and karma behind that injury that I'd sustained. It took forever just to write it. You know, you could feel the energy of actually putting it onto a piece of paper, and then put the potencies, put it on the bottle, and started drinking that. And it doesn't mean it will instantly get better. Quite often karma or all sorts of things in your life that have got in the way of it will come up to be dealt with. It doesn't mean it's automatically going to get better. It means you're going to start interacting with the karma behind that disease, and you can go right to the core. I've got another one, and boy did I hit the wall after I started using that. I'm just trying to remember it. And it really was to somehow pinpoint, because there was lots, you know, with Lyme's disease, it really destroys your immune system. It's really hard to get better with the chronic fatigue and all the different things going on. And I wrote one, it was something like the central karmic traits that are underpinning my ill health. And I put that on a bottle, and boy, I took that, and did I hit the floor after that, I can tell you, because that will stretch back through all of your past lives and your family history and everything. So, you know, it can be a very strong thing, and it is the power of the mind and the power of the word and the power of our imagination and our own intricate intelligence and understanding of how to make remedies. And you don't have to know how to do it to start off with. You can just start, and it is really, I tend to teach the central core of principles, and with this there is a complete simplicity to it, because all you have to do is put into words something you are ailing from, write it and put it on a bottle. But in that simplicity there is a potency, and in the end it does come just to our create. And quite often you can think, oh, okay, I'll just think getting better, but it doesn't tend to hold it for me when I do that. Actually writing it and putting it down so it gets manifest into water and then drinking it, somehow that ceremony makes it real, and it gives people independence. Anyone can make their own remedies, anyone can have their own freedom. Now the other way to do it is with one of these little machines. It has a dial that you can make the potencies with. So you can have a bottle of something on one side and you can have another bottle on the other side, and you can make it to different potencies with the dial in the middle. This one, the dial's got very tight, and I got this from someone else. She's actually on the group. Leslie Knight made this for me, but it's the same type as my homeopath was using, so I kind of trusted it. And it's with magnets and different things to magnetize the thing across, and I think it was reduced. It was 180. I'm going to make some more of these for myself and for other people if you want. They're going to be cheaper and probably bigger, and they'll probably be 160 or 170 pounds. So if you want one of these, just contact me afterwards, because it's quite nice to have the remedies in these little tiny ampules, and then you just get them together, whatever you want, in the morning, and you can put them on one side, and then you can put your bottle of water on the other side, and it will just transfer. It's a bit like doing magic in the mornings. So if you want to do it that way, and then you also don't have to deal with this one, you're having to drop all the drips in every day, and you've got that bit of alcohol in it. If you don't want the alcohol, then it's nice to do it this way. So that is also possible. So the other way I make healing remedies on top of this, first of all, even before I get to that stage, my water is already potentized in a mirror of myself, because I do holographic breathing and I work with the water through different areas of my body, which heals the body, but also the water picks up all the different resonances from your body. And then I have a way of working with that water that makes it less raw, it makes it more spiritual, and makes it ready to be a healing remedy. And there's, on my website, if you look on my website, it's got healing with water, and you can learn how to do that, and I'll be running more webinars on that. And that gives you two ways of being free, two ways you can make. For me, they are the best remedies I can get. Certainly working with water, with holographic breathing on yourself, it will take the memory of all of your healing energies, of everything that's happening in your body, of all of the bugs, of all of the viruses, of all of the karma, and then you work with that in a certain way so it's much softer and much lighter, that I teach in the different webinars. Then you drink that through the day. It's a bit like you're drinking yourself, and you're just completely into it, and then you're doing that every day. You're refining your energies, you're clearing your body, you're detoxifying every day. And it also has the spiritual energies that are coming to you to do the healing as well. So those are two, for me, very simple, very potent, very creative ways of doing healing. The first time I heard the name the healer was someone was reading this book, and it was about a man in the army, and he was an engineer, and he was in India, and the first job they gave him was to build this bridge over a river that no one had ever managed to build a bridge over, and he had a very lateral way of thinking, and he built the bridge next to the river and then diverted the river under the bridge. So the bridge worked, and then they didn't have any more engineering stuff to do, so they made him the doctor, and he wasn't a doctor, and there were all of these Indian children and people coming to him, and they had no medicine, so he was giving everyone sweets, and he realized he was a healer when all of these people were coming to him with terrible diseases. He was giving them a sweet and they were getting better. So it's kind of that kind of thing, your own internal intelligence of how to make your own remedy. It's not like we're sitting in a room together and we're making them together and I'm somehow imparting it to you. I'm just giving you the information and you do with it what you want. You know, you may do it in a totally different way to how I'm doing it, but it is just that magic of your own creation. So if you haven't done holographic breathing, it's really good to pay attention through this part, because with holographic breathing, a miss is as good as a mile. It's not like we're breathing and doing a visualization. There's a very particular way to do it that evokes a whole type of breathing to happen. And what we have in holographic breathing are the lips are closed, the tongue is on the upper surface of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, the breath is through the nose, and then along with that, on the in-breath, the jaw very lightly opening, and then on the out-breath, the jaw is very lightly closing. The lips stay closed and the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. And in teaching this, we start off with exercises, so it starts as an exercise, and then there's a certain point when a cellular memory starts and it becomes totally effortless. It's a bit like the jaw is just naturally moving in that way, and an energy moves through you, all sorts of different energy meridians and energy channels align, and a whole thing just starts on its own. So there's a preciseness to it, but then at a point it just disappears into its own natural cellular memory, and energies rising up within us. So we're going to start with that now. And yeah, let's just start. So closing your eyes and just gently breathing in your own way. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little meditation, first of all, to resource ourselves. So gently breathing, send a smile to the earth and allow the earth to say hello back. Allow yourself to receive from the earth. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. And then send a smile, send some energy to the higher self, and allow the higher self to say hello back. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. And asking the earth and the higher self to be with you through this whole meditation as your healing guides and your resources. And then starting off, have the lips relaxed and closed, and bring the upper surface of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And you can have as much of the tongue on the roof of the mouth as feels comfortable. It may be half an inch, it may be an inch, it may be the whole tongue on the roof of the mouth, whatever feels comfortable. And just gently breathing through the nose. Have the lips relaxed and closed, have the tongue relaxed and on the roof of the mouth. Relax the back of the neck, relax the back of the head, and just become used to having the tongue on the roof of the mouth, the lips relaxed and closed. And now that you're used to that, just start moving the jaw up and down. Just a small relaxed motion, about half a finger width, a tiny motion of the jaw up and down. It's a bit like chewing. And as you're doing that in a relaxed way, make sure that the lips stay relaxed and closed, and the tongue stays relaxed and on the roof of the mouth. And notice you can do that. You can gently move the jaw, and it's easy to keep the lips closed, and it's easy to keep the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And now slowing that motion down, and as the jaw is gently dropping, allowing the breath to come in through the nose, and as the jaw is rising, allow the breath to come out through the nose. Notice it feels like a little pump. It's only a small motion of the jaw, but as it drops down, the breath comes in through the nose, and as it rises, the breath comes out through the nose. The lips stay closed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth, like a little pump. Notice how that fills your body, how you get a nice deep breath with that. And now we're going to change the emphasis round. Rather than having the emphasis on the jaw, we're going to bring the emphasis to the breath coming in through the nose. So as the breath comes in through the nose, the jaw relaxes open. And as the breath comes out through the nose, the jaw relaxes closed. Notice how everything lightens up at this point, and the jaw just follows the breath. Breathing in, the jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed, as if you're not even doing it. It's happening, but you're not doing it. It's no longer a doing, it's a happening. Breathing in, the jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed. And feel that moving through your whole body. As you breathe in, the whole chest, the abdomen is opening, the jaw opens with it. Breathing out, the chest and abdomen close, and the jaw closes with it. Relaxed and easy, it becomes automatic. As you breathe in, the teeth are separating, gently separating. As you breathe out, the teeth are floating back together, but they barely touch. They just gently float together, or they don't touch at all. So there's no pressure, and the jaw just becomes an automatic movement with the breath, becomes part of the breath. No force, no doing, it is just naturally part of the breath. Relax the back of the head, relax the whole body. Notice it's a bit like every cell is opening on the in-breath and the jaw is following. Every cell is closing on the out-breath and the jaw is following. As if the whole face, the whole head, the whole brain also very subtly opening on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath with the jaw. As soon as the jaw becomes part of the breath, this deep breathing motion moves through your whole body, and you get the ability to travel in your body and feel this motion and this breath in every cell. Notice very subtly through the arms and legs, they're opening on the in-breath, they're closing on the out-breath. And notice you access all sorts of natural energies. You may feel the energy releasing in your spine and through your brain. You may feel your energy connecting to the earth. You may feel your energy connecting with the higher realms and the universe. Just naturally, it opens a gate. It opens up a new reality and access to different energies and your reflective nature through the earth and the higher realms. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing, relax your throat, relax your whole body. Okay, great. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourselves to come back